Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to the Bibliophile's Bookcase. I'm your host, Erica the Bibliophile, and we are here to discuss Tay Monet's latest release, All He Ever Needed. Let's jump right into it. Now, as we know, I love Tay Monet. The few books of hers that I've read, I've loved every one, and I like this one too. Um, my only critique is basically like nothing happened. It was kind of like a straight through kind of story, or whatever little problems came up, they were immediately like resolved in like 2 seconds. But let's jump into it. So we have Miss Indigo, who is finishing up her master's degree, and she's working as a house cleaner to a very rich man who she finds very attractive, but they never like interact with each other. By the time he comes home, she's gone for the day. They don't really talk. They have no interaction with each other. And one day he comes home while she's still there, and he asks her to have a drink with him. And she's like, sure, because she's finishing up school. So she's quitting because she's about to go into her field. And so they have a couple glasses of liquor, and it turns into, I've always been attracted to you and I want you. And so she's she nods her head to agree. He's like, no, I need you to vocally consent, so I know this is something that you really want to do. um and he also took, like, we're gonna slow down on the liquor because I want a willing participant. And it's just like, at first I was kind of like, huh? But then I said, no, that makes perfect sense. I don't want anything to be misconstrued. I don't want no mix ups, no type of way. I need you to know what you're saying yes to and actually want to say yes to it, and you won't regret it later. And so, they're attracted to each other. She's like, I know what I'm doing. And it's kind of like the one time she's throwing caution to the wind, because any other time, Indigo, she's straight laced. She does everything by the book. So they have sex, and where the hell did I get Siren from? That's from another book I just read, Jesus. Silas. He's a rich man who's running his family's company, and he's a playboy. He don't want to be tied down to nobody. He's not thinking about getting married, no babies, no nothing. Like, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and living my life. So after they have sex, he's kind of like, damn, how am I going to kick her out? But mama was already out the bed grabbing her clothes, like, basically, see you. Um, but he tells her, no, spend the night and then you can leave the next morning. And so after that, it's like, how many months later? I believe it's 3 months later. She's graduating. Uh, she trying on her outfit, like the outfit don't fit no more, and I'm messing up whether she actually got across the stage or like right before she was supposed to walk across the stage. Mama passes out, and she's thinking it's like dehydration, and because she been working so hard to get to this point. But no, come to find out, she's pregnant. And in the last 3-4 months, she has not talked to Silas at all. So it's just like, how the fuck am I supposed to tell this man that I'm pregnant, and that one night, that one time, resulted in a baby? So she reaches out through his secretary to meet up with him. And so when they get together, he's like, I'm kind of surprised to hear from you. And at first, she don't even want to do it. She's like, I do not want to do this shit. But then she tells him, and oh, and I'm like, you can't blame people for like the initial reaction. So it's like, I ain't seen you in 3 months. We don't talk. Like, I really didn't even know you like that. I just thought you was fine and wanted to have sex with you. But he like, ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Um, and she's like, you were the only person I've ever had sex. Like, I lost my virginity that night, so this has to be your baby. And what is it? Like, once again, it's that I know you don't know me, but I would never. So it's like, exactly. He don't know you, so how are you offended by how he's reacting? He does not know you. Like, I understand you want to protect your integrity and your morals, but it's like, baby, he don't know you. So you got to take it with a grain of salt and basically like straighten up your backbone. Be like, all right. But, and that's exactly what she does. Let me say that. She's like, okay, I understand. You probably had a lot of women try to do this to you, try to get some money off you. I'm not asking you for nothing. I just wanted to let you know. And when the baby comes, we can get a DNA test just so it was basically like we can have a DNA test just so you know that it's your baby. But even after that fact, I'm not asking you for nothing. I just wanted to let you know, and we can go on about our business. Cause mama is a scientist. She like, I'm about to start my career, and I'm about to be making some money. It's not gonna be as much as you, but I'm good. I'm good where I stay at. Like, I'm not looking for nothing from you, so you can leave. And so he does, and then he starts feeling bad, and it's just like, fuck, how am I gonna do this? And so they agree to get a DNA test, and he goes to talk to his friends. Was it all of them or just one? Because one of his friends is our good friend from Falling from the Wrong One, Law. And no, even before they find out about the baby, he was going out to drink, and they're having this conversation of, we're 30 or we're about to be 30. It's time we settle down. Ain't you ready to settle down? Ain't you lived your life yet? And it's like, no. With a person having like maybe the average life between 70 to 100 years old, within that gap, and you're only 30, like, no, you have not lived life yet. Like, okay, you've had a lot of sex. That doesn't mean you lived a lot of, like, you lived enough. It's like, if you want to get married, that's great. But just to say, we're 30, like, 30 is not old. I do not understand that. Like, I've never thought that 30 was old. I'm like, even as a teenager, like as an adult, like understanding the concept of not only what time is, how years pass by, and like I said, the average lifespan, it's like you just get to 30 and it's just like, damn, that's it. I need to settle down. Basically, I can't have the fun no more. Because when people talk about marriage and talk about settling down, that's how they make it sound and how they make it seem. Like, okay, I've done everything that I wanted to do. Now let me go be boring and locked down with this person, have a couple babies, and just like do mundane things. And it's like, okay. And y'all wonder why people don't want to get married, don't even want to get into relationships, because it's like we ain't even making it to the courthouse yet. Um, Before y'all just make it seem like, ugh, being with one person, having to see this person every day doing the same thing like that, it's so terrible. Like, who the fuck would want to sign up for that? And so they had this conversation because Law, like, he not even basically interacting with them. He texting my girl Zay on the phone, checking on her and the baby. He's like, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. And, I'm just so happy. You should want this too. And that's another thing. So, you just automatically trying to push this off on him. Like, you need to stop being childish, sleeping with all these women and get you one woman. It's time for you to grow up. It's like, relax now. Damn. It ain't even all that serious. And so he starts talking with Indigo more because, finding out about the baby, and he's like, I kind of did her wrong. Let me get to know her a little bit. And so he starts going to doctor's appointments with her because then it gets into his mind of, okay, you might be having my baby. And if that's the future I forgot their damn last name, but if that's the future legacy of this family, we got to switch up your whole lifestyle. So basically, he trying to move her out her condo, get her another car, give her a bank account to set her up to take care of the baby and for her. And she's like, whoa, 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 whoa. No. Um, we're gonna co-parent. That's it. If you want to set up an account for the baby, that's fine. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing your part, but don't include me in that. I got my career that I'm starting, and basically like, no, we both slipped up and this happened, but I'm not trying to force myself on you, and you're not about to force yourself on me commanding my life. So no, thank you. Um and also, she when she tells her parents, they're very supportive. She has a sister and a cousin who are supportive, but when her younger brother hears about it, he ain't feeling it. Basically, like that's his sister, even though she's a big sister. He's just like, I don't trust that nigga. Fuck that nigga. And he not finna try to play my sister because, when they find out who it is and what happened and how he felt about it, brother wasn't feeling him. But also with Silas, with him running the company and his relationship with his parents, if you could even call it that, like the first time we read about him meeting up with his mama, she's like, oh, I'm about to set you up, like it's time for you to start uh looking at women and settling down. Like everybody just want him to settle down. And I'm like, either he 30 or he like 33. He like within that range. He in his early 30s. It's just like the man ain't 60. Relax. And he's like, nope, I didn't come over here for that. And I don't want to hear this every time I meet up with you about the fact that you think it's time for me to get married. And so he leaves, whoop de whoop. Um, and then his mom calls him and tells him, I expect to see you at dinner this day. Make sure you come through. So when he shows up to the dinner, it's his parents and another couple. Now, his mama and the lady are talking like, oh, they have a daughter named Spencer. She's away right now for a month. But when she comes back, like basically, y'all gonna get together and go out on a few dates and basically start planning for y'all future together. He like, what? And so he gets up and leave the dinner because he like, I just told this woman that I'm not doing this, and here she fucking go. And and I don't know what it is about parents like this, or like how as a child you navigate through a relationship like this, because it's just like, yeah, I told her, but even with you telling her, she really not listening. So at what point do you cut her off? But we gonna get there. Um, so then she try a few more times to get him set up with this woman, and he has to shut it down and tell her like that's never gonna happen. One, because I don't want it to, and two, I have a child coming into the world, so this is a no go. And so she's like, a child? Are you, stop playing with me? You're having a child. And then, basically when she finds out about the woman, you're having a child with a hood rat who's trying to come up off our money. You need to get a DNA. And it's like, did that already. I'm not stupid. I know what I need to do. Did it. It is my child. Back the fuck up. And so his mom takes it upon herself to go see Indigo and offers her a check and says, I'll give you this amount of money to sign over all your rights to my grandchildren and to never contact them and never contact my son again, because he has a woman who he's gonna marry and who has agreed to take care of these children. And basically like your, well, she's too great to have gum on the bottom of her shoe. But basically, like, you're beneath me. You will always be beneath me. And I don't even know why I'm here having this conversation with you. And so Indigo is like, get out my fucking house, because the lady showed up to her house. And I never want to see you again. We're never going to speak again. And excuse me, she goes to Silas and is like, "You need to get your mama under control." He's like, "I already warned you about," because they did have a conversation about parents and like how their lives were going to be, what is it, like intertwined but separate at the same time, and what to look forward to. And she's like, "No, your fucking mama showed up to my house offering to buy my children and insulting me at the same time. Keep her the fuck away from me." And so he couldn't believe it, but it's like, as soon as that starts, it shut down. Like, she don't get no room to try to interfere in their lives together. And which is crazy, because I'm thinking like in my head the way I say, because I was like, it was a critique of mine, but it's also like, and realistically, that's how you want it to be anyway. Like, I hope I'm explaining that right, because it's like, okay, if problems arise, you want to nip that shit in the bud. But as far as like a story goes, it's like, okay, she came, offer money, bam, that's over with. She tried to set him up, bam, he shut that down, so ain't nothing going on with that. So it's just like, if anything could happen, it's like, we psh, 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 basically swatting that shit up out of here, get out of our way, back up, back up, back up. And in this whole time, Indigo and Silas, like, they're spending more time together, of course, getting to know each other. And Indigo is still working in a lab, but she's not working in a certain area that she really wanted to work in, because she came through the door telling her boss that she was pregnant. And he's like, okay, that's fine. Women get pregnant every day, B. We just gonna work around it. Um, and at first, she thought my man's was her boss, because he's very nice to her and very accommodating. He took her out to dinner, and she thinking my man flirting with her. And it's, to me, it was almost like a father figure. It's like, no, no, honey. Like, I just see something in you. I appreciate your work ethic. You're very smart, and I appreciate what you do. But basically, he lost his wife due to cancer, and that's the 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 type of science that they're working in, that they work on, trying to find cures and things like that. So he's like, no. And, the one thing I regret is not having a child, because they both said that they did not want children. So they never pursued having children. And so it's like, now that he sees her, it's just like, no, I see you. I see you working hard, and I admire that, but I'm not pushing up on you. And that makes her like him even more, because at first she was kind of nervous, like, is this man hitting on me? But it's like, no, baby. And so when she finds that out, it's just like, ooh, he hangs the stars and the moon. And the mama, Silas's mama, had her followed and had gave him some pictures, like, look, is this the type of woman you really wanted to be associated with? She's pregnant with your baby, but going out on dates with other men. And Silas tried to act like he wasn't phased by it. Like, we not in a relationship. We not even on that type of time with each other. We're just going to be parents. So, this means nothing to me. But on the inside, man's just super jealous. Like, who the hell she going out on a date with? Like, why the fuck she looking at him like that? And so he invites her out to like a game night with his friends, and she invites him to kick back at her parents' house. So they get intertwined in each other's lives, like, meet my people, you meet my people. Oh, you're not so bad after all. Like, all that shit you was popping in the beginning, you're not really like that, or you're changing your ways to not become like that. And so at some point they have sex again, and it's kind of like we just filling this out, we gonna see how it goes. So he, in the beginning, when I say he tried to move her, like, he tried to move her from her condo into the condo beneath his, because he bought it. So it's like the one he lives in, and then he bought the one right below him. So he's like, you can move in, so you real close with the baby. And come to find out, it's not only one baby, it's two babies. So they're having identical twin boys. um and so she's like, no, she had a 2-bedroom condo. So I was like, no, my space is great, that's fine. But I think he had a 3-bedroom, so it's just like, each baby could have their own room and all that type of stuff. And she agrees, and with that I think that's when they start having sex. So it's just like, they're bonding. So it's like I like you. And so he invites her to a dinner. What is it? Like a charity dinner or something like that. And Silas was also having sex with another woman who was married. And at first, like the first time I think they had sex, he said he didn't know she was married. Then when he found out, she basically explains it as a loveless marriage, or he's traveling all the time, so she's lonely. And the husband knows, like, while he's away, she does her own thing, so it's really not a problem. So he's like, all right, you don't care, I don't care either. But when he found out about Indigo, he cut her off. But at this event, she runs out, basically, trying to talk to him in front of Indigo, and she's looking back and forth at them like, what the fuck is going on here? And the woman is staring at her in contempt, and it's just like, baby, you married. You have no say so over this man, which is basically what he tells her. And then the husband comes rushing out like, babe, I've been looking all over for you, girl. Come in here. Some people I want you to meet. Basically trying to drag her away from embarrassing herself. Because I believe at one point, like while she's looking at Indigo's stomach, tears well up in her eyes, like, oh, this one ain't hurt me. Like, ma'am, you're married. Back up. And so that wasn't the thing either. And in the end, they decide to be in a relationship, and it's like, I guess I can settle down after all, and we're gonna raise our babies together. Which of course, I wanted to be the outcome anyway, because it's like, I don't even understand why she's moving downstairs. Girl, go ahead, move in with him. Because I think he was driving her around, and he was sitting like, he had a car. And with her being pregnant, she's like, man, bending down, getting into this car is crazy. So next thing you know, my man pops up with a brand new truck. Like you said, sitting down in the car hurt you. So bam, here you go. Brand new 2023 truck. Everything in it, boom, bow. And she's like, damn, it was only for right now, under these circumstances. I ain't gonna be pregnant forever. But then he like, also you got more room for the baby. So that's good. So basically, happily ever after. Like, damn, I guess I did need to settle down after all, which I did not agree with, but it made for a cute story. So that is all. And I believe she's sitting at number one right now with this book. So it's a great book. Please don't misconstrue of me having just that little critique as me not liking it. I really enjoyed the story, especially when he finally cut his mom off. Like, this is the last straw. I no longer want contact with you, and you're definitely not having contact with my children. We're good on that front. And, his dad is alive in the picture. They married, and, his parents are still married. But basically, it's kind of like the daddy don't care. He see what his wife doing. He ignore her, don't pay her no fucking attention. And anytime she's like going off the rails, he don't say nothing. And he don't say nothing to Silas either. It's basically just like, I guess y'all my family, whatever. Basically like, nigga. Which is the complete opposite of Indigo parents, because they were supportive of her and with her every step of the way. Okay, that's it. That's all. Peace and blessings, my beautiful people.